Welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, a Tudor nut really, and also an author of 9 books on history, I think it is now. 10th book coming soon. On this day in Tudor history, the 7th of September 1533, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Queen Anne Boleyn, second wife of King Henry VIII, gave birth to a healthy baby girl at Greenwich Palace. Although the birth of a daughter instead of that predicted prince must have been a disappointment initially, both her parents, Henry and Anne, delighted in their daughter. Of course, nobody could have known that this little girl, who was baptised Elizabeth, would one day rule over England for over 44 years and would go down in history as the Virgin Queen, Gloriana, and good Queen Bess. She was, of course, the iconic Queen Elizabeth I. Now, chronicler Edward Hall recorded Elizabeth's birth. He wrote, "The 7th day of September, being Sunday, between 3 and 4 of the clock at afternoon, the Queen was delivered of a fair lady," and we've got the bells ringing out for her, "which day the Duke of Norfolk came home to the christening, and for the Queen's good deliverance, Te Deum was sung incontinently, and great preparation was made for the christening." I love the fact that when I start doing these, the bells start ringing out. So there you go, the bells ringing out for Queen Elizabeth I's birth. Charles Risley also recorded Elizabeth's birth in his chronicle, writing, "Memorandum, the 7th day of September 1533, being Sunday, Queen Anne was brought to bed of a fair daughter at 3 of the clock in the afternoon, and the morrow after, being the day of the Nativity of Our Lady, Te Deum was sung solemnly at St. Paul's, the mayor being present with the head crafts of the City of London." Eustace Chapuis, the imperial ambassador, also recorded Elizabeth's birth in a letter to Emperor Charles V. "On Sunday last, on the eve of Lady Day, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the Queen's mistress was delivered of a girl, to the great disappointment and sorrow of the King, of the lady herself, and of others of her party, and to the great shame and confusion of physicians, astrologers, wizards, and witches, all of whom affirmed that it would be a boy. The people in general have rejoiced at the discomfiture of those who attach faith to such divinations, and who, whatever face they may put on the present occasion, are nevertheless exceedingly affected and ashamed. The Lord Mayor and Aldermen of this city, the heads of guilds, and other citizens of note have been invited to the christening, as well as 2 French ambassadors. The newborn is to be christened at Greenwich. The godmothers will be the mother-in-law to the Duke of Norfolk and the Marchioness of Exeter, the Archbishop of Canterbury to hold the child at the font, and the Bishop of London to christen her. She is to be called Mary, as the Prince says, which title, as I've been informed from various quarters, will be taken away from its true and legitimate owner and given to this spurious daughter of the King. If so, we shall soon hear." Now, there is actually no evidence at all of the great disappointment and sorrow mentioned by Chapuis. The celebratory jousts that were planned for the birth of the expected prince were cancelled, but it was traditional for the celebrations for the birth of a girl, a princess, to be low-key, and the jousts had also been cancelled in 1516 when Princess Mary was born, so this was completely normal. Chapuis is rather exaggerating, and of course he was wrong in his explanation, and his mention of this little girl being called Mary as well, for there is no evidence that Anne and Henry even considered the name Mary for their baby. She was called Elizabeth. A herald proclaimed the good news, Te Deums were sung, and the royal couple got on with planning Elizabeth's lavish christening, so any disappointment was soon over. Anne Boleyn had given birth to a healthy baby. There was much to celebrate. Anne had proved that she could carry a healthy baby to term. So the couple must have had high hopes. They must have assumed that surely a prince would follow. Of course, this would not happen. Elizabeth was left without a mother when Queen Anne was executed in May 1536, and Elizabeth's father moved on to wife number 3, Jane Seymour, very soon after Anne's execution. So happy birthday to Queen Elizabeth I, who was born on this day in 1533. Her birth might have been an initial disappointment, but then it was celebrated and a lavish christening arranged. And of course, this little girl would grow up to be someone whose image is recognised the world over today. That iconic Virgin Queen, Gloriana, Queen Elizabeth I. Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as videos go live, and you can give this video a like if you've enjoyed it too. And do spread the word. If you know other Tudor history lovers, then do spread the word about this channel. It's always wonderful to welcome new viewers and new subscribers. Rest assured that I'll be back tomorrow with another Tudor history event for you. I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.